Colorado High School Activities Association football is on B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont, it is Fort Morgan against the Silver Creek Raptors. As we are looking to do the national anthem, we're going to try and leave it here for that, see if we can pick that up here on the on our microphones.
The spirit of competition thrives, fueled by honest rivalry, courtesy, relations, and graceful acceptance of results. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, we ask that the spectators consider the time and effort put forth in reaching this contest. Your positive conduct allows the players to feel pride in their community and school. Please rise and join us for the singing of our national anthem by Silver Creek's Hannah Bruce and Silver Creek's band director, Bill Legg.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, with our stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched with the gallantly streaming in the rocket of a bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, very nice rendition of the national anthem here tonight. Bride Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at in Longmont, along with Tristan Reyes, who is at the studios for us tonight. Julie Garcia is our replay engineer. And we will give you the offensive starting lineup, and that is brought to you by Cargill. Cargill committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. And tonight for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, if I can find my I will get that to you in just a minute.
In the meantime, we've got Fort Morgan lining up to kick off. I thought that was the other way around, but maybe not. And Fort Morgan in their road white. Silver Creek in all gray uniforms with maroon stripes up the pants and shirt and shoulder epaulets, I guess you might call them, with maroon helmets and white numbers.
So the opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. So a big game here for the Mustangs, as they all are this time of year. So Trey McBride with the ball on the tee, and he approaches and puts his foot into it. It's a squibber, and it's going to end up going out of bounds on the east sideline. So that'll be 1st and 10. Raptors from their own 35.
And they must have a good kickoff returner that we're trying to avoid, but giving them the ball on the 35 might not be the answer that Mustangs are going to want. Nope, they're going to make them re-kick. Interesting.
Huh, okay. So we will see what happens with that. Now, if they kick it out of bounds again, where does it go?
It comes out to the 40.
Out to
it's
the 40.
a certain number of yards from.
Okay.
It's 20 yards from where you kick it, or 25 yards from where you kick it from.
So
but I think he'll just squib it out into the middle and
see who they do have. Can't read their numbers very well. That number 15, Mason Andrews, and I can't see who the kid is on the far side.
Looked like maybe 11, but I'm not sure.
So we will re-kick, and this time it's going to be straight down the field, and it's going to be taken and bobbled at about the 25, the 30. He's going to have a lane out here across the 35. Shoots back into the middle. He's going to go back across the field. 45 and out to midfield, and still not down yet. That finally does. Now a flag comes in.
Cheap shot on 14 for Silver Creek, hitting Trey McBride in the back. We'll march that one back probably 15 yards or maybe just 10 on the block in the back.
So that was number 14. I believe that was, no, it was 21, wasn't it? George Ramirez that ran that back.
Yeah.
So we will see what the penalty is. It will be from there. It's a personal foul.
Illegal blindside block.
Illegal blindside. That's what that is. Okay.
Okay.
So that'll send it back 15 yards from the Raptor 47-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Silver Creek from the 32-yard line.
You know, that's a hard block for a kid to lay off when you're coming and someone's peeling off. But you got to make sure you get your head in front of them and that they have a chance to defend themselves in today's football.
Yep. Dylan Ordway, quarterback for the Raptors in the shotgun formation, and going to hand off over on the left side and follows the block out to the 35, just past the 35. We'll see if they get it out to the 36, but it'll bring up a second down for Silver Creek as they do get it out to the 36. So a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. With a no huddle, 2 receivers split wide right. And now they look over to the sideline for the play. Dylan Ordway is a 6', 200-pound senior. In the shotgun formation, passes out into the flat, and he is going to be finally brought down for a loss, back down to the 32. It looks like it's going to be a bubble screen out to the right. And let's see, that was Isaac Linker and Trey McBride out there, I believe, on that coverage. That will bring up a 3rd and 10 as they're back down to the 32. So 3rd and 10.
Got that one.
Yeah. So 3 receivers left. I can't see who the back is in the backfield with Ordway. And their receiver split wide right. Deep pass down the right sideline and almost intercepted, but nice job out there by Grayson Garver. Nice job on the defensive side of the ball there by Grayson Garver as he knocks the ball away. So that will bring up a 4th and 10 from the 32.
On that screenplay, Coach Chisholm had talked about how they wanted to get a certain number of gang tackles, and I think that counted as one because by the time he went down, half the team was out there helping with that tackle.
Yep.
Obviously something they read, from looking at film and studying film.
So Tate Kimball awaits back at the Mustang 35. Snap back. Nice punt. It's going to hit about the 35 and bounce down inside the 20 as it'll roll dead out about the 17-yard line.
Boy, Tate's got to get under that if at all possible. He didn't really even make an effort to try and get to that one, I thought. But, his judgment, and on this hard turf, it's going to bounce forever.
That's for sure. So 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 17. So we'll see what Fort Morgan comes out in here. They're going to put Trey McBride at... No, I thought he was going to line up at quarterback, but he's not. Dalen Knapp at quarterback for the Mustangs. Marquez wide left and McBride to the right with Tate Kimball and Austin Breidenbach in the backfield behind Knapp. And a play action, and it's going to be a pass to Breidenbach out across the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. Nice job there on the play action as they got Breidenbach open out in the left flat.
And that was just a really nice pass, and they certainly weren't expecting that. Silver Creek lining up in a 4-4. Their middle 2 guys both go over 250 pounds, so they're going to try and stop the run with some beef up the middle. With like I said, guys head up on the guard, which will make it easier for the center.
So first is Fort Morgan from their own 46. Breidenbach and Kimball in the backfield. McBride lines up close to the right end, and Kimball with the carry there on the right side, but no gain there as he is going to be stopped at the 46. So they'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 46 for the Mustangs after finding no room on that right side to run.
So, like I said, they're going to probably stack in the middle. It's really hard to run inside against a 4-4, just because you got 8 guys between the ends.
So Marquez split wide right. McBride up on the ball, and that is going to be handed off to Breidenbach as he will get a couple out of that, so that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Mustangs. Picks up 2 out to the 48. So 3rd and 8 from the Mustang 48.
And we may just have to go with the passing game if that's the only thing they're going to give us.
So now Fort Morgan set up in their flex. Tate Kimball to the left, Breidenbach to the right. It's going to be a handoff around the right side to Kimball as they try to get a block out here. The 50, the 45, the 40, and he does get down for a first down yardage as he gets it down to the Raptor 40. Nice blocks out there on the edge by Nate Cage, Eric Carrillo, and Colton Carpenter.
And that's one thing that Tate Kimball has really learned this year, and that is to use his blocks and to follow them, and then when it gets in tight, to dance around them and get the extra yards. He's using his blockers well this year.
So Marquez late coming in, lines up wide left. McBride is a tight end on the right side. Breidenbach right at the middle, and not much there, maybe a couple. As they will mark it down. Let's see if they get it down to the 48-yard line. Or excuse me, the 38. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 8, I believe, if they get. Yep. So from the 38. So first there was a pass. Next 4 have been runs. McBride's going to line up wide left now, as Fort Morgan is going to call a timeout. They had something not right on that one, so we'll just keep it here. This Fort Morgan timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East.
Probably saw something in the way they lined up. In fact, I think it was Dalen that saw it, because Dalen looked to Coach Chisholm and kind of with a question as what do you want us to do, and rather than risk it in a high stakes game like this on our first drive, let's take a timeout, talk about it, and get back in there with a good play.
Yep, down to 7:52 here in the first quarter. Fort Morgan took over with 10:16 on the clock as they stopped the Raptors on 4 plays. They had to punt. Fort Morgan started this drive on their own 17. So handoff around that left side to Breidenbach. He gets it down to the 35, the 30. Enough for the first down as he's found inside about the 25. So nice job there on that left side by that line, and also the receivers out there as they get it down to the 26-yard line.
And maybe it looks like Silver Creek says we're not going to let you do what you did against Meade and pound it down our throats. But that comes at a cost. That opens up that outside. We've had 2 really nice 12-yard runs to the outside so far.
So first and 10 from the 26 for the Mustangs. McBride wide right. Flex formation is going to be a keeper by Knapp as he goes up the middle. Looked like it was going to throw out to McBride. Maybe he was covered and just tucked it and ran. So we're going to get 2 down to the 24. So 2nd and 8.
Kind of an interesting one-read type pass play, and if Trey's not wide open, then you duck and run. But he made positive yardage rather than getting a sack or throwing an interception.
So 2nd and 8 Fort Morgan as they now at T formation behind Knapp in the backfield. Marquez to the right. Pitch back to Kimball as he goes around the right side down 25.
And
we have a flag.
You're going to get a hold on the lead back. I don't know if that was Breidenbach, but
yeah, I think
as Tate tried to use his blocker then the defender started to separate, and Fort Morgan blocker kept a hold of him. So that's unfortunate. That's going to make this drive a lot harder.
Hold it. On the offense, number 13.
They hold it on Trey. So it brings up second down from the 35.
So that'll be 19. 19 to go, and we got 3 downs. I don't think we're going to be kicking a field goal or punting at this point.
So McBride wide right, actually trips to the right with Marquez and Garcia snap back, and he is going to be hit in the backfield and sacked.
The defender was up on his face, and Tate Campbell was wide open on the wheel wrap to the left.
And he was looking for somebody down this right sideline. And not there, waited too long, and he was sacked.
Only lost 1 on the play, though, so now we got 20 yards to get in 2 tries.
So 3rd and 20 from the 36.
And run that same play again and throw it out to Tate on that wheel. Man, was that open. I hope the coach up here saw that.
So now 2 receivers right, 2 left. With McBride out, or Kimball out here. It's going to be ball is going to be dumped as Knapp had no time, threw it at the feet of Tate Kimball.
And now maybe at this point, out of 35, you're going to punt. You're not going to pick up a 4th and 20. So an interesting drive, stopped by a penalty. Other than that, Silver Creek didn't seem like they were going to be able to stop us. Still, we had the disadvantage of 2nd and long and had to go to the pass game. We pass best when they don't expect it.
Yep. So Kimball in the punt formation, a high snap over the head of Tate Kimball. It bounces back at the 40. Let's see if he can get a kick off, and it's not a good kick. It'll roll across into the territory of the Raptors, but not a good snap as it was over the head of Tate Kimball.
But a heck of an athletic play by Tate to just get the ball and get something on it and get it back. But the defense had a little bit of a disadvantage.
So excellent field position for Silver Creek as they will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39. Fort Morgan ran 10 plays. Didn't take quite 5 minutes off the clock. Shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle. And bounces off a pass across the 50, across the 45. A stiff arm as he gets it down inside the 40. And that is number 35. Andrick Knechtel is how I was told that is pronounced. Knechtel.
He's a big boy, man. He rumbled for a nice 12, 11, 23 yards on that.
So 1st and 10, Silver Creek from the 38.
Sometimes a great defensive stand like they just had motivates that offense a little bit.
So shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, handoff right up the middle again, and he will get it down inside the 35. Down to about the 33. So we'll bring up a 2nd down.
Yeah,
5-yard gain. So 2nd and 5 from the 33. 3 receivers split wide right, 1 left.
Fort Morgan with only 3 defensive linemen in a 3-4, 3-3 type set.
So Ordway a pass over the outside and makes the connection for the 1st down, and that is to George Ramirez. As that will be down to the, let's see,
23.
Down to the 23, so 1st and 10 from the 23. 2 receivers left to right. They put a man in motion left to right. This little handoff or little bump and brought down in the backfield by Dylan McBride and Trey McBride. So that's a loss back to the 27. So a loss of 4.
That's Blazin. He doesn't run the ball very often, and that may be why.
So now 2nd and 14 from the 27. And have a whistle stop the play here. false start on Silver Creek, so that'll drop them back another 5. So that'll bring it 2nd and 19 from the 32. So we'll see if these penalties hurt Silver Creek like the 10-yard holding did on Fort Morgan. As we are down to 4:16 and counting here, first period, no score.
That was a 2nd and 19 for Fort Morgan down at this end after the penalty that stopped that drive.
Shotgun formation. Wardway with the play action pass out here into the flat. And nice job, nice tackle out here on the corner. I have a flag that came in late, and that was Angelo Rivera on the tackle.
Hopefully it's not a defensive hold on a pass that didn't even go downfield, but that's kind of in that area. Either that or the offense held him. And
so we'll see what.
And Silver Creek's not celebrating, so not sure.
So we'll see what against Silver Creek.
I think that you would not take that, but
so that's a 10-yard penalty. Well, they're going to decline it and bring up 3rd and 19. So 3rd and 19 from the 32.
So far, Ordway's 3 for 4 for a total of 8 yards.
So 3 receivers right, 1 left, once again with Connectal and Ordway in the backfield down to 344. Ordway with a big arm down that right sideline, and that is going to be well over the head of the intended receiver, number 21, Kahari Harrison. So now that will bring up a 4th and 19 for Silver Creek as they send out. See if somebody's going to try it and see what kind of a kicker they have. They have a field goal kicker if they're going to punt it.
It looks like he's dropping back to punt. And, you know, again, if it was 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10, they'd probably go from this position. But, you know, they can gain at least 12 yards by kicking it out of the end zone and maybe more by going to the coffin corner.
So snap back a little high. It's going to be a little pooch kick. It's going to hit at the 10, down inside the 5, and almost let it go, but it's going to be down inside the 1. I thought maybe the kid had misread it and it was going to be into the end zone for the touchback, but he did down it just inside the 1. 3:26 to go here in the first period with no score as Fort Morgan with their second possession.
I wonder how Dalen Knapp is with his John Elway quotations. Maybe he's going to say, we've got him right where we want him. For those of you who are old enough to remember the drive.
So 3:26, and the Mustangs, if they get this into the end zone, we've got to go 99 yards. Or 99 and a half yards almost. I believe they're inside the 1. So handoff on that right side to Kimball as he will get it out, not quite to the 5-yard line, but that gives them a little bit of breathing room. They will get it out to the...
Looks like they're all the way out to the 8. Nope.
No, I think they're to 3. So a gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
It's hard to see way down there. But I think the best way to attack Silver Creek right now is off tackle because they're going outside with their ends and trying to
that's right.
keep that.
So Kimball on that right side, or left side once again, and he will get it out this time almost to the 8. We'll see where they finally mark it down at. It will be at the 8, so.
Yep.
So 3rd down.
3, I think.
From the 8, so 3rd and 3, yes.
Just getting yourself some room to punt is your first chore when you're pinned down that tight.
So handoff to Perea along this left side, and they're trying to get the ball away from him, but I believe he held on to it. Nice job by George Perea as he gets it out to the 25. He was brought down by Kahari Harrison.
He reached huge, all the way to the 25, 17-yard carry, first time with the ball tonight for George.
So a 1st and 10 from the 25.
And they kind of had him pinned in there a little bit, and then he just, a little burst got through. But it was dangerous there because the DB did latch onto the ball. And
George held on to it. So 3-back backfield once again. This looks like Meade as Kimball goes off right tackle out to the 30. So a gain of 5. So bring up 2nd and 5 from the 30.
And the only thing missing is the cloud of dust, because here we are on artificial turf at Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont. But yeah, just pound it up the middle and say, let's see if you can stop us, because I don't think you can.
So this is just the same type of setup that they had to see. Angel Abrego is in the backfield. It's going to be to Kimball over that left side as he cuts it back up the middle out across the 35. So that will be enough for the 1st down. So nice run there by the senior tailback. See who's down. Dylan McBride's a little slow getting up. But that time they started left, and he cut it back up the middle. But that will bring up a 1st and 10 from the 36.
Yeah, just shy. And, Fort Morgan with that, I just trademarked Fort Morgan power running game.
So 3-back backfield once again. Kimball over this, Perea, over this left side. And he will be brought down just short of the 40. So he'll mark it out to the 39, a gain of 3. So 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
And the best part that I see right now is that our offensive line is just totally controlling the line of scrimmage on the snap. We've gained 2 yards before they even get the ball because the line's pushing them that far down. So kudos to the offensive line tonight so far.
So this first quarter will come to an end here in about 10 seconds as Fort Morgan will let the clock run out as Raptors had 2 possessions. Fort Morgan with their 2nd possession going on here and no score. So at the end of 1, we are scoreless here at Everly Montgomery Field between Fort Morgan and Silver Creek on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Everly Montgomery Field, we'll give you this offensive lineup here. Austin Breidenbach, tailback, Dalen Knapp, quarterback, Trey McBride, receiver, Tate Kimball, backfield, Adrian Marquez, wide receiver, Dylan McBride, tight end, Isaiah Celestino, Eric Carrillo, Colton Carpenter, Jorge Ramos, and Nate Cage on the line for the Mustangs. That it is 2nd and 7 with a handoff to Tate Kimball over that right side. And nothing there. He gets it out. We'll get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, maybe in the 40. He's just shy of the 40.
Okay, we'll give it to we'll give him 1.
And Silver Creek that time came out and lined up in a 5-2. So we're going to have to adjust where we run against the 5-2. That should help them a little bit on the outside, and a little bit more on the off tackles. But the dives might open more.
So now Trey McBride at the back.
Back in the 4. So
Trey McBride at quarterback, Dalen Knapp on the sideline. As it is going to be a handoff. It's going to be a keeper by McBride up the middle. As he faked the handoff, it was almost like an option play and kept it going up the middle and gets it across the 40. So that'll bring up a 4th down, so Fort Morgan will punt.
And I'm not sure what other than just letting people know that we have that option in our playbook, what purpose that would have. Because I don't see Trey with the wheels to really gain 5 yards from that position. He's much better off throwing it to him downfield.
So 4th and 5 from the Mustangs' own 41. See if we can get a better snap here. I believe that was Trey as he gets it back to Tate. Nice end-over-end kick. And it's going to be taken at about the 16, coming to the right side. Along this left sideline is forced out of bounds by Jimmy Keller at the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10 Raptors from their own 35.
That's pretty good to start with the drive on your own 1, and at the end of the punt have them all the way down on their own 35. That was a good return. Kind of scary there for a minute. And, what's his name? Grayson did a good job of stringing it out and getting him to the sideline.
So 1st and 10 Raptors from their own 35. Handoff over that left side and hit in the backfield. Brought down by Nate Cage. Thought there was a late hit, but the whistle hadn't blown.
And he came in with his body, you know.
Yeah,
he
it wasn't
was
spearing or
trying to hold
anything.
up. So no yards on that.
So 2nd and 10 from the 35. A quick pass out here to the 40. The ball is loose. We'll see. Oh, it ended up going out of bounds. Fort Morgan couldn't get on it because it was still live.
Wow.
And that bounced out at the 46. So that will be a 1st and 10. Raptors from the 40, from their own 46. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Ordway puts a man in motion. It's going to be a little pitch to him going around that left end as Fort Morgan strings it out across the 50 and down into Fort Morgan territory, down to the Mustang 45-yard line. So just short of the first down by a yard, so bring up 2nd and 1 from the Fort Morgan 45. Handoff right up the middle over this right side. He bounces it out. Now he's going to be hitting the. He did get some yardage, so he gets it down across into first down territory. They will mark it at the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 42. Got a gain of 3. As Fort Morgan is going to call another timeout.
Change defenses and didn't get the guy out in time.
We'll take one with him here with 9:23 left here in the first half. No score on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont as the Fort Morgan Mustangs have traveled here to take on the Silver Creek Raptors. Both teams 6-0 overall, 1-0 in league play. As the Raptors have it now from the Fort Morgan 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Ordway now sending his man in motion from left to right, and he's going to drop back for the pass. Gets all kinds of time. The pass is going to be intercepted by Grayson Garver. Nice job by Garver. There was nobody there for the Silver Creek Raptors. So Grayson Garver with the interception at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know where he thought he was throwing it. I guess that's one of those where they read the receiver and think they know where they're going, and that one didn't work out for him. Early on down in Colorado Springs, Lewis Palmer up 10-6 against Discovery Canyon.
A nice interception by Garver. That will set the Mustangs up 1st and 10 from the 16, their own 16. Handoff up the middle and nothing there for Tate Kimball. As that will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 16 as the Mustangs have their first possession here of the 2nd period as Dalen Knapp comes back into the huddle for the Mustangs. McBride is going to go wide right. Marquez to the left with Breidenbach and Kimball behind Knapp. It's going to be over this right side, kind of a delay handoff. Spins into the middle. And he will get it out just short of the 20. So that will bring up a 3rd down. So that'll be a gain of 4. So 3rd and 6 from the 20.
They must be leaving enough people back to cover the pass because we haven't gone back to throwing to it. And you would think as long as Tate's in single coverage, although they got him short and deep on Tate.
So 2 receivers right, 2 left. Knapp in the shotgun formation. Now pass over here to the right. And intercepted by the Raptors over the head and taken down the right sideline. Into the end zone for the touchdown. And that is going to be number 22, George Ramirez. Puts Raptors up 6-0 with 7:54 left here in the first half of play.
Yeah. Could have thought it was going to be a defensive play that ends up breaking the scoreless game. But we get an interception and then we throw one.
Yep, so back turnover by each team now. That was Ramirez. And now the
A little momentum shift there.
Point after try for the Raptors. As the snap is high down and the kick is going to be up. Looks like it went to the left, but it is going to be good to put the Raptors up 7-0 here with 7:54 left here in the first half. So we will take a short timeout and be back on the other side of the break with Mustang football on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nicklin, Kevin Rohde here as the Mustangs find themselves down now 7-0 with 7:54 to go first half as George Ramirez takes it back 35 yards for the touchdown after the interception. So Fort Morgan will get the ball here once again on the kickoff. It is a deep kickoff. It will come down to Hamer at about the 6, out across the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, 31 or 2 yard line. Nice return there by J.P. Hamer. So first and 10. Let's see where they finally put it down at. It will be the 31. 7:48 to go here in the first half. Mustangs with the possession once again after they just threw a pick to go down 7. So T formation behind Knapp's going to be handed off to Kimball over that right side. Breaks it across the 35, across the 40, I believe. Going to be just short of the first down.
And Silver Creek back lining up in that 5 front. They seem to just want to shift back and forth, maybe trying to confuse our defensive linemen. Maybe we'll catch them in something that they're not used to running.
So just short of the line to gain at the 41, so it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 40. T formation once again for the Mustangs. Knapp under center. And it's going to be up the middle to Tate Kimball. He breaks it across the 50, the 45, the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and he's going to be brought down from behind by George Ramirez. But beautiful run there by Tate Kimball as he gets it down to the 18-yard line.
Yep. That's the way to answer Tate. You know, he's a senior, he's a leader, and he wants to get the momentum back on the Mustang side.
And that surely helps. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They send Marquez wide right, and the Raptors will now call a timeout. So we'll take one with them here with 6:47 left here first half. Raptors up 7-0 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Everly Montgomery Field as the Mustangs are on the drive. Started at their own 31, are now down to the Raptor 18. Third play of the drive coming up here. Tate Kimball just from how far did he go on that one? Down to the
He went 42 yards.
42 yards, and it was caught from behind by George Ramirez. So T formation once again behind Knapp. He handed off to Kimball over that right side as he gets it down inside the 15. Looks like maybe to the near umpire saying the 14. Now they're going to mark it back to about the 15. So gain of 3. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 7 from the 15.
And he's just dancing up to where his offensive linemen are. I know I've said this already, but he's already 2 yards downfield by the time he reaches his offensive lineman. Great job. Silver Creek sticking with that 5-2. Thinking that gives them a better chance against the run.
Now they put a man in motion, put Pereira in motion to the left. He sets T formation behind to Kimball on that right side as he is going to get a couple, I believe, down to the 13. That will bring up a 3rd down. We got 3rd and 5 from the 13-yard line. Fort Morgan will try to pick up this first down here. I'm sure they'll go for it on 4th if they don't. So the full house backfield once again for the Mustangs. And it is pitched back to Pereira with a lead block. He should have cut up and did not. He is going to be blocked for a loss back behind the 15. About the 16. The opening looked like it was more of a direct cut to his right, and he bounced it outside.
All right. Lost the 3 on that. Now we've got 4th and 8 to deal with. I think you're right. It's easy to see from up here. He looked like he wanted to cut in, but he couldn't see past the pile to that one block defender that was, making the contain, and that one cut cost us 5 yards for sure.
So 4th and 8 from the 16. So we'll see what the Mustangs come up with here with 4:50 to go here. Second period as it is a I formation behind Knapp. McBride out to the right, Marquez to the left. Play action as he looks over here to the right. It was going to to Dylan McBride, and it looks like there's going to be there is a flag thrown, so probably pass interference on the Raptors.
Although he missed Breidenbach, who was like 4 yards away from him, wide open.
That's what I thought he was going to at first.
So is that going to cause a first down? Though that's going to be the question.
So we'll see whether it comes up with pass interference. It will result in a first down for the Mustangs. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Let's see where they finally spot this at.
Well, it's within the 10, so it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 8.
See, I thought they were going to go with the fade Trey off in that corner, one-on-one with his guy.
But. So 3-back backfield once again for the Mustangs. Going to be handed off right up the middle to Angel Abrego, as he will get it down to the 5. So a gain of 3.
I think that's Hokanal, isn't that? 34? Nope, you're right, Abrego. 36 is Hokanal.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So 2nd and goal from the 5 after that 3-yard run. Now Hokanal is in there along with Abrego and Tate Kimball in the backfield. Tight formation once again for the Mustangs. It's going to be a pitch back to Tate as he cuts it outside. Now he's going to cut it back up to the 4. And now we have a flag going out about the 2. So that may be a holding on. They're going to call holding on Fort Morgan. So that will be a setback here once again for the Mustangs. They didn't catch a number on that, but it will be still a 2nd and goal.
Now 13.
Now from the 13.
Yeah, and that last play would have been the perfect play to, you got the full house backfield, fake that and toss it over the top to McBride sneaking into the corner of the end zone, but I'm sure they've got a plan for 2nd and 12. They got 3 more plays to get to the touchdown.
Yep. So 2nd and goal from the 13. Full house backfield once again for the Mustangs. It's going to be a handoff to Perea coming around this left side as he's going to get it down. Oh, it didn't gain much. Maybe just 1 on that. Let's see if they mark it at about the 12. So gain of 1. So 3rd and goal from the 12.
Right now it seems like Silver Creek's got that running game a little bit figured out. Of course, they can sell out for that because they know, the coverage, they don't have to cover them deep, that there's only so much room. It's always tougher when you get into the red zone.
Down to 3:05 here in the first half. The Raptors up 7-0 on an interception returned by Ramirez. Full house backfield. It's going to be a pitch back to Kimball, who looks to pass. He's going to pass it to McBride, but they're going to throw a penalty on the Raptors in the end zone.
Yeah, unless they call it on Trey, push it off.
It could be. It's hard to tell. We'll see
at that point, but we'll see.
McBride was pleased with the flag, so we'll see who it comes back on. The flag was in the end zone, but I think it's still a half the distance to the goal.
An automatic first down.
In high school, so we will see pass interference on the defense. Yep.
Oh, no first down, so just replay the down.
So it'll be 3rd down because it's okay. 3rd down and goal from the 6. Full house backfield for the Mustangs once again. Hand off to Kimball over that right side as he is going to get it down.
Down to the 2, looks like.
Down to about the 2. So that will bring up 4th and goal. Chance here for the Mustangs to tie this thing up as they will mark it at the 2, as you said. So we'll see if the defensive line or offensive line for the Mustangs can make a hole here for Kimball. So he's driving back, and I believe that was Hookman in the backfield with Kimball. And to Kimball over that right side, and he is going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Tate Kimball with 2:11 to go here in the first half gets the Mustangs on the boards. Now 7-6 with the point after coming up here for the Mustangs.
And I tell you what, that was all individual effort there on him. He was hit probably at the 3 and made the last 3 yards, shedding tacklers while he went.
So Hochgobel here now for the point after try. Snap back is good. The kick is going to be up, and it looked good, and it is good. So the Mustangs have tied it up here with 2:11 to go here first half. All knotted up at 7 on B106 and B106.com. All tied up here at Everly Montgomery Field in Longmont as the Mustangs just went 69 yards in 10 plays. Tate Kimball takes it in from 2 yards out. PAT good by Hochgobel. So a nice job there by the Mustangs. We'll see what happens here on the kickoff as McBride will tee it up here and get the okay from the ref. And he approaches and puts his foot into it, a scribble along the ground, and it's going to be knocked down at the 5, picked up at the 5. They hold their lanes here out at the 5 across the 10 out to the 15. So nice job by the Mustangs. And that was number 25 on the carry, and that was TJ Blazin.
And that time the squib kick did just exactly what you wanted, kind of a squirrely bounce at the end, and all he was able to do was knock it down and then had to go back and pick it up. And by that point, he only had one blocker left with 4 Mustangs zeroing in on him.
So 1st and 10 Raptors with 2:04 left here first half, all tied up at 7.
And I'm guessing they're going to try and throw deep.
2 receivers left, 2 right. Shotgun formation, going to be handoff over that left side, and nothing there as tackled in the backfield was Trey McBride. Actually had no gain. They did get it back up to the 15, so 2nd and 10 from the 15.
That's the 2nd time we've held him for no gain. He got away for the 123 yard, and we've contained him other than that.
So 2 receivers right, 2 left. Once again, Ordway shotgun formation, going to be a handoff over the left side this time. And McBride in there once again, along with a host of other Nate Cage and Dylan McBride also in on the tackle. That'll get him out to as a gain of 3 is out to let's see where they get that out to, the 19.
It's almost
a
like
gain of 4.
Almost like they're trying to run out the clock and not give Fort Morgan another chance with that ball.
So 3rd and 6 from the 19, a pass out into the left, and that pass is incomplete. Out in the left flat, so that will bring up 4th down. So Fort Morgan will get the ball back with probably just under a minute. There's 1 and 7 minutes left here on the clock.
And the ever dangerous Tate Kimball back there to return the punt. You can never discount a punt return. I believe the Mustangs ahead at half.
I would go with that. That's the way the script should be written. It's really about the 18-yard line, so I believe it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Should be 4th.
4th and 7, excuse me. Nice deep punt to Kimball at the 49, the 45, the 40, and down to Raptor 40, or to the Raptor 37-yard line. So we'll see what the Mustangs want to do with it with 59 seconds left, because they will get the ball to start the second half.
I really don't see any point in not, trying some quick passes. Maybe run one. You still got 1 timeout left. Certainly can't go with, too much time.
So they marked it back a yard. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 38.
Actually, I think if it was me, which it isn't, I'd put Tate Kimball out there wide and have him run deep and throw it to him because he can outrun most people.
So Marquez comes left as a receiver. I formation. It's going to be play action as Knapp rolls out to his right. It's going to be a pass down to McBride. Oh, just out of the reach of McBride as he was open. He was open at about the 12, and it was just a yard or two in front of him. But he was open. That will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 38.
And that'll bring up nightmares to the Silver Creek defensive coaches at halftime, as they got to think about how close they were to giving that up and how are they going to stop the run and also keep people back to stop Trey.
So 53 seconds left here, first half. Mustangs and Raptors all tied up here at 7. T formation for the Mustangs. Knapp under center. Going to be handed off to the left side to Breidenbach. He's going to be hit in the backfield. And let's see who calls the timeout here.
Looks like penalty. I think there's a hold probably. It's definitely going to make it tougher for Fort Morgan.
So they will block in the back.
10 yards from the end of the run. Replay 2nd down.
So that will bring up
So you lost 2 on that.
And then 10 yards from that, I believe. So now it's going to be 2nd down from the 48.
And now the way down, and it doesn't matter, just distance and the time on the clock.
So 2nd and 20 from the 48. With 30 seconds as the clock runs. And full house backfield for the Mustangs. Give it to Tate Kimball over that right side. Breaks it up a little bit, crossed it down into the 45. Now down to 15 seconds left here, but bring up 3rd down. We'll see if it doesn't look like either team is willing to stop the clock at this moment. As it will take us to halftime here in 3 seconds. So at halftime, the Raptors and Mustangs are all knotted up here at 7. We will be back in 3 minutes with a halftime show on B106 and B106.com. Here in the second half, and it is going to be a kickoff to Hamer at about the 10 across the 15, and that's about as far as he is going to get as he is hit at the 15-yard line, driven back a little bit, but they will give forward progress out to the 15. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan.
Their kicker really gets the ball up in the air. That's a great weapon for them to be able to pin us back.
So we'll see if Fort Morgan comes out in their running attack like they did at Meade with their 3-back set in the backfield.
Silver Creek back in their 5-2.
So T formation, handoff to Breidenbach, I believe, over the left side. As he will get a couple of yards. Looks like out to the 17. So 2nd and 8 Mustangs after the 2-yard run by Breidenbach over the left side. So Knapp under center once again as they put Marquez wide right. Going to be a handoff to Kimball over that right side, and he breaks it across the 25, bounces it outside, and he will have enough for the 1st down as he will get it out to the 26, 27-yard line. So nice job as Tate Kimball runs with his head up, looks for those holes, bounced it outside as they will mark it out at the 27. So 1st and 10 from the 27 after that 10-yard run by Kimball. So Dylan McBride lines up as a tight end on the left side. So 3-back formation once again for the Mustangs. Tight formation with no wide receivers. Handoff to Kimball as he will get it out across the 30. The 31 or 32. We'll see after they unstack them where they're going to put it. Looks like at the 32, so that'll be a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5 from the 32 for the Mustangs. 3-back set once again for the Mustangs. And this time met in the backfield. Let's see, that was Tate Kimball on the run, but he was caught in the backfield. I believe that was Tyler Gibbs. caught up with him there, almost got the handoff.
Yep, he just ran a little bit of a stunt and got in there before taking out the ball. So
It's going to be a loss of 1 back to the 31. So 3rd and 6 Fort Morgan as we're tied up here 7-7 as we begin this second half of play. Full house backfield once again for the Mustangs. Knapp under center. It's going to be a handoff over this left side. Nice bust out here, and I believe, see where they mark it. It will be close to the first down. And I believe he does have it, and he did. He just got it by a yard, but that's all it takes. So first down Fort Morgan as they continue this drive that started at their own 15.
That's a little demoralizing, too, to hold them to 3rd and 5 and then give up a 6-yard run and let them have first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Mustangs. 3-back set once again. Handoff to Kimball over the right side as he follows these blocks out there. And he keeps continuing on the run as he will get about 9.
And a little bit of a horse collar there, tackle from someone from behind, but he let go before he pulled him down by it, so got away with that.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 1 from the 47. So this is just what they did at Meade. They just controlled that offensive line, the line of scrimmage.
Looks like Tate's out for this one, maybe.
And Knapp under center, handoff right up the middle. And that will be enough for the first down. Let's see who that was. That
might have been Breidenbach, or
trying to see who they handed that off to, who comes out of the pile. I believe that was Breidenbach that on the run. And that will be enough for the first down. So 1st and 10 Mustangs. As the breeze picks up a little bit out of the south here in Longmont, as it will be out at midfield. So 1st and 10 Fort Morgan. Run around this left side to play as he breaks it across the 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Center steps and he is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. George Perea takes it 50 yards. And he stopped to let the defender go by. He was grabbed and he wrestled him into the end zone for the touchdown. So with almost 4 minutes off the clock, the Mustangs go up 13-7 on a George Perea 50-yard run.
And that silences the home crowd a little bit, just like that Meade game. Although we didn't get 50 yards on the touchdown, we definitely marched it down. Weakenham, and boy, he got out there. There was no one there. What a great job of blocking, containing the defense to the inside.
So the all-important PAT, the high snap, the put down, and the kick is going to be up, and it is good. So that puts the Mustangs up 14-7 with 8:04 left here in the third period on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Everly Montgomery Field as the Mustangs go 8 plays and 75 yards to go up 14-7. It was a 50-yard run by George Perez, but as we said, he was hit about the 3 or the 4, and he just drove that defender back on into the end zone for the score. He was not going to be stopped on that when he was that close to the end zone. So nice night here at Everly Montgomery Field. A slight breeze out of the south, but a nice warm fall evening here as the ball is going to be kicked and taken at the 20, run to the right here across the 25, the 30, the 35, and hit by Trey McBride as he takes him out of bounds at about the 36 or 37. So the Raptors will take over from there.
Yeah, good job of the kicker coming down. He kind of plays safety, and he just cut through the blockers and got to him as he was starting to head up the sideline. Now let's see what Silver Creek's got for their adjustments and how they're going to try to attack the Mustangs. I think the Mustangs are going to stay with their base defense. Maybe pick up a few reads here and there.
So 2 receivers left, 1 right. Ordway in the shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff over the up the middle to Konechko as he will get it out across the 40. Gain of, they're going to get it out to the 42, a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5 from the 42.
Aaron Carrillo brings up second down.
As they set up once again, now they have two receivers right, two left. Ordway looks out to the left, and the pass is low and incomplete. But Angel Rivera right there on the coverage almost been there to intercept that ball, but it did hit the ground, so that will bring up a 3rd and 5 Raptors after that incompletion.
And they're definitely committed to passing the ball. They're not going to go with Konechla very often.
So 3 receivers now left as the coach is on the far sideline trying to get the Mustang faithful make a little bit of noise here. One receiver split wide right as he looks down the field, and that ball is going to be caught in Mustang territory at about the 48 and then goes down to about the 42 or 43. And that was George Ramirez with a reception.
14 yards on that one.
So 1st and 10 down to the 44. So 2 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun for Ordway. As he rolls out to his right, have a flag down, and the ball is going to be caught. Nice catch there at about the 27 by Kahari Harrison, but we do have a flag down.
Maybe a chop
See
block.
if it's a...
Personal foul. Chop
Yep.
block.
Nice call there.
75 and 79. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay
So
first down.
15 yards from the previous spot.
So they'll take it all the way back into Fort Morgan territory, 1st and 25.
Haven't seen a lot of those lately. We had quite a few there in that the game against Falcons. That they had like 4 of them, I think, called against Falcon.
Right, and that was one where Colton Carpenter had to come out and not play the rest of the game because that is a very dangerous play, and hopefully they don't do that very much.
So 1st and 25 from the 41. We'll see if the Mustangs defense can prevent a first down here on these next 3 plays. It's going to be a handoff over the left side. Oh, nice big hit there by Dawson Frick as Trey McBride had him around the waist, and Frick came in and cleaned it up. So they'll bring up a 2nd down from the 45.
Kind of a little bit of a draw look on that, but he didn't wait really long enough for the defensive lineman to settle out on the rush.
So 2nd down.
And we've got them confused. They're struggling with what call to make, and that's a good thing.
So 2nd and 20 as they pass out here over to the left, and almost intercepted, but picked off, it was caught by number 22, George Ramirez once again, as one of the defenders for Fort Morgan broke in front of him, but the ball was over his head. So that will bring up a very manageable 3rd down and about 6.
Big 16-yard catch there, and he would have gone for the tackle there instead of the ball. We would have been looking at 3rd and 20 maybe.
So 2 receivers left, 2 right. Puts a man in motion. It's going to be a little pitch off to the back going in motion. He is going to be stopped. Nice job there by the Mustangs as they read that Dawson Frick on that far side along with Jorge Ramos. So that will bring up still 4th and 6. And
at
they
the
will
end,
go for it. So
the end, Nate Cage landed on him. That would not feel good.
So 3 receivers left, 1 right. Ordway, Fort Morgan just jumped. So that won't be a first. It'll be 4th and about 1.
Well, you just got to have some discipline and not do that.
I think that might have been Trey. He's going to go out. And see, Moody, I believe, is coming in. James Moody. So it'll bring up instead of 4th and 6 now, 4th and 1 from just inside the 35.
They don't have a power game. They don't have a quarterback sneak. At least we haven't seen them take a snap from underneath center. Maybe they're putting their power backs in now and going to do that.
This is about the first time I think I've seen them huddle up much. Usually it's been a pretty quick pace offense. So shotgun formation once again with Konechla behind Ordway. 3 receivers to the right, and we have a stoppage of play. We'll see what the...
Prior to the snap, we have timeout. Silver Creek.
Okay, timeouts. We'll take one with them here with 5:03 to go. The Mustangs up 14-7 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at, keep wanting to say Legion Field, but we're not at Legion Field. We're actually in Longmont. Everly Montgomery Field as the Mustangs are up 14-7, and it is going to be a fourth and one, but more like about fourth and half a yard. But connect all behind Ordway in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. As Fort Morgan needs to be disciplined.
Trying to get us to dump again.
As Ordway now with the ball, hands off to connect all. He breaks it across the 35, the 25, the 20, and brought down by Luis Garcia, clear down to the 18 yard line.
Yep. Nice 16-yard carry when they needed one.
So first and 10 from the 18, it looks like, is where they're going to put it. So first and 10 as Ordway goes back into the shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers left, puts one in motion, and now 2 receivers right. As the passes, he looks downfield, and he is going to be, the ball is going to be thrown, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wow.
At about the goal line. Ordway did a nice job of eluding the pressure by the Mustangs.
The Mustangs did a good job of keeping on that till the last minute. That was Tate Campbell out there, I think, knocking that one away.
So they'll bring up a second and 10 from the 18 for the Raptors. With 4:27 left here in the third period, the Mustangs up 14-7. Raptors started this on their own 37 with 7:57 to go in the third period. So 2 receivers left, 2 right, shotgun formation with Connectal behind Ordway. It's going to be a handoff to Connectal as he is going to be taking that out about just short of the 10. So that will bring up a third and short.
Number 35, Andre Connectal.
As it will be at the 11.
Number 2, Austin Bradenbeck, and number 13.
That's hard because he can look and see where the holes are, unless you can tackle him back when he's getting the ball.
So 3rd and 2 at the 11. Now they have 3 receivers left. 1 to the right with Connectal behind Ordway as Ordway looks out here into the flat and wide open out to the 10 to the 5 and into the end zone for the Raptors for the touchdown. I didn't catch who that was. See who comes out of there. So number 25, TJ Blazin with the touchdown from 11 yards out to put the score now at 14-13 with 3:44 to go in the third period.
So they answered Fort Morgan's challenge, and now Fort Morgan's got to come back and take care of business themselves.
And the point after try is up and good. So we're all tied up once again with 3:44 to go here in the third period on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here as the Mustangs find themselves now all tied up at 14 with 3:44 to go in the third period as the Raptors take it 63 yards in 10 plays. A little over 4 minutes as they have the ball on the tee ready to go. And deep is Kimball and Hamer. And that is going to be a nice deep kickoff to Hamer at about the goal line. He drops it, picks it up at the 10, the 15, the 20. Oh, he fumbles the ball. And it looks like the Raptors have fallen on the ball out about the 27-yard line. So just what the Mustangs couldn't afford. There's a turnover here and deep in their own territory. So the Raptors will take possession once again.
This is where we have to make a big stand like we did at Meade and stop them deep in their own territory, although I think with their field goal kicker, they probably feel like they got at least 3 points out of this.
So first and 10 as they mark it at the 27. So the defense needs to stiffen up here once again.
Absolutely.
As he did not get a break As they're back out on the field here with the Raptors sending 2 receivers left, 2 right, Connecticut behind Ordway. As Ordway sits in the shotgun formation, they put a man in motion right to left and pass down that right sideline and into the end zone, but it is incomplete to the intended receiver.
Well, that was close, though. He was right on the line.
So that will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 27 after that incomplete pass.
You see that a lot in college and pros where you get a turnover down deep in their territory and you take that shot to try and, put the nail in the coffin first play.
Yeah, try to take the air clear out of them. So 1 receiver right, 2 left, H-back to the right, Connecticut behind Ordway. Going to be a handoff to Connecticut and hit in the backfield by Trey McBride, along with Nate Cage and TJ Keller. So nice job there by the Fort Morgan defense to corral Connecticut there on about a 2-yard loss. That'll bring up a 3rd and 12 from the 29. So
His first carry for a loss.
So a big down here for the Mustang defense. And it is 3rd and 12 from the 29. Pass over on that right side is going to be complete. And it will be just short of the first down by maybe a yard. So that'll bring up 4th down. About 4th and 1. Where they marked it? They marked it at the 18. So 11-yard gain. So it is 4th and 1 as they send 3 receivers to the left. And Fort Morgan will call a timeout. So we'll take one with them here with 2:21 to go. All tied up at 14 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at Everly Montgomery Field. Tristan Reyes back to the studios for us tonight. Julie Garcia is our replay engineer tonight. As the Mustang defense is looking at a 4th and 1 from their own 18-yard line with the Raptors 3 receivers left. It's going to be a pass over into the end zone. Out there as they came in to the post from the left side, and that was a pass. Is that number 11 that got that? 11, yeah. That was number 11. That was Joe Roth for the 18-yard touchdown. Now puts the Raptors up 20-14.
And no hurry and no major concern for the Mustangs. We can come back and score, get in this, and hold them.
So the point after try is good. So that will bring the score now to 21-14 as the PAT is good.
Yeah, it looked like they had 3 receivers all the way in that corner, and then all of a sudden one just broke off to the middle, and probably the defenders got tangled up with each other, and he was wide open there for the not a skinny post, a fat post maybe away from outside, then cutting it in, a deep out or deep in.
But it was a beautiful pass. We had a good look at it from our vantage point. It was a beautiful pass right in there. So, but as you said, no worries here. The Mustangs still with a full quarter and 2 minutes left here, as they will need to hang on to the ball though and not make the turnovers. That touchdown came off of a turnover.
And Tate and Hamer keep switching sides down deep, and every time the kicker finds Hamer, so I think they're probably doing that on purpose.
So gets that foot into it, and it will go to Hamer at about the 2, and he drops it once again, picks it up across the 5, the 10, and he will go down at the 15-yard line. So JP having a little tough time with the ball tonight, but did keep it in control that time as he was brought to the ground. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan with 2:10 to go. 3rd period as they are down 21-14. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15. As the Mustangs have the 3-back set, tight formation. Handoff to Tate Kimball over this left side. He breaks across the 25, the 30, and down to the 29-yard line. I thought he was going to break it there for a minute. He was hit pretty hard. We'll see if he's down on the ground right now. So we'll see what happens with
hopefully it's not a
Tate.
concussion. It certainly looks like that could be because he was falling backwards. Was almost on the ground when the defender came in full speed and hit his helmet. But, it's all fair in football at this point, so hopefully he's okay.
So he will have to go out here for a little bit anyway, but he's still down on the ground. He did get any consequences. That was a first down run out to the 28-yard line. So that will bring up a 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. But our concerns right now are with Tate Kimball as he lays on the ground. And they're going to...
Looking at if it is a concussion, he's probably going to be out the rest of this game and definitely next game. Possibly the game after that, but should, barring anything more serious, be able to come back and play again in that Longmont game.
Yeah. So
well, let's hope it's just a little bit of a dinger and he's going to be okay.
he's rubbing the back of his neck right now, so he got bent pretty good. So that's good to see him up and walking off the field. The trainer for the Mustangs walking with him. So the Mustangs will have it 1st and 10 from the 28. Northeastern live in your world, learn ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to www.njc.edu.
As the saying goes, it's next man up. Now we've got Pereira in there, and we know how he can run. We still have Breidenbach.
Yep. So 3-man set for the Mustangs. Now it's a handoff to Perea over this left side as he gets it out to the 35. So that'll be a gain of 7. He'll bring up a 2nd and 3 from the 35-yard line. Nice run there by Perea, but he's always done well whenever he's had the opportunity to carry the ball. So Perea is the deep back behind Breidenbach. And I believe that's Hooknall in there now. Over that right side now to Perea. And not much there, maybe a yard out to the 36. But that will bring up a 3rd down. Let's see, they just going to give it out to the 36 to give him a gain of 1. So they'll bring up a 3rd and 2 from the 36. See what the Mustangs have here on 3rd down. Actually about 3rd and 3 it looks like. Tight formation once again for the Mustangs. This time it is Perea once again as he busts it outside. But he is going to be held short of a 1st down. As he only gains about maybe another 1. As they will mark it at the 37. So they'll bring up 4th and 2.
Now Tate's our punter, so they're going to have to get the 2nd string punter in. It looks like maybe that's 84.
Dawson Frick.
Defense is going to have to step up and keep us in this game until we find out what's going on with Tate.
So 4th and 2 from the 37. And it looks like Marquez is going to be the punter here for the Mustangs as the clock just ran out here on the 3rd period. So at the end of 3, the Mustangs find themselves down 21-14 here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at Evelyn Montgomery Field as the Mustangs are down 7, 21-14 as we get this 4th period underway here shortly as the teams get back out to their respective positions on the field. Once again, Tate Kimball was rocked pretty hard there a couple of plays ago and
he's standing down by the 25-yard line talking to the trainer. Okay. All the coaches going down and patting him on the back. Looks like maybe he's done for the night.
So 4th and 2 for the Mustangs from their own 37. Adrian Morrow is a fake to Hamer, and he's Ball in Fort Morgan territory, deep in Fort Morgan territory at the 25. First and 10 from the 25. After the fake punt failed.
Well, that sets Silver Creek up in really good position.
So first and 10 from the Mustang 25 with 11. We're going to say the 24. With 11:55 to go here in the game. Mustangs down 7 now.
And this is definitely a point where we need to get a stop if we're going to remain in this game.
So three receivers left, one right. It's a low snap back to, was that Connecto?
No,
that was somebody else.
someone.
Maybe 22. Was that George Ramirez? Yep. So low snap back to Ramirez, and that will be a loss of 1 back to the 25. So I'll bring up second and 11 from the 25 for the Raptors.
They tried to get a little bit fancy there and bit them in the behind.
So they send Harrison wide right, 3 receivers to the left. And it's also once again number 22 as the ball is dropped out there. I haven't noticed, is trying to see if Ordway, is he playing a different position? Because
He's standing there by the coach, so I don't know.
Huh. So maybe they're throwing a little wrinkle into their formation here as Ramirez is playing quarterback.
I don't know why in a big game like this you'd want to do that unless there was some absolute reason for it.
Yep. So 2 receivers left, 1 right. It's going to be a run out here to the left, and it's going to be a pass downfield, and it's going to be caught just short of the end zone, I believe. It's going to be just out about the 1 yard line. That was a beautiful catch down there, and that was by P.J. Blazin. So first and goal, Raptors from the 1 yard line. So first and goal from the 1 after a 24-yard pass from George Ramirez. So now they're going to line up. Now they have a Tyler Gibbs, I believe, is under center and into the end zone for the touchdown. We have a flag though. So we'll see what that is. See if it's a hold. Personal foul. So that will come back.
And I would think that you'd start talking to the coach and saying, you need to teach those kids the proper way to block because you're going to get someone hurt.
Yep.
Chop block.
So that'll be first and goal, though, and this time it'll be from the 16, I believe. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
I mean, all you have to do is stay high. You just don't drop down on the knees of a guy that's already engaged and is defenseless.
Right.
I don't see any need for that. And
so Ramirez back in at quarterback for this first and goal from the 16 with Connect all behind him. 1 receiver right, 2 left. It's a high snap, and he's going to take it right up the middle, across the 10, the 5, and he's going to throw his way into the end zone for the touchdown, and they have a flag thrown. Now another flag. And we'll see what that may be. We'll see what the second flag is about. Maybe that was on Ramirez of taunting. But we had 2 flags on the play.
he definitely didn't appreciate being hit as he went into the end zone.
And maybe they were calling a late hit on the Mustangs and then maybe taunting on Fort Morgan, but we'll find out here in a minute. They're going to say something against Fort Morgan, it looks like, and they're going to enforce it on the kickoff, apparently.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 9 on defense.
Apparently both flags on the late hit.
So I guess if you do a late hit, then you're allowed to punch the guy and kind of push down and taunt him, too.
Yeah. Oh, well, Ramirez takes it in from the 16. For the touchdown, now the point after try coming up for the Raptors. A snap back, and the kick is going to be up and good for the 2-touchdown lead. So that will put the Raptors up now 28-14 with 10:51 left here in the game on B106 and B106.com. Yep, yeah, as we were saying here, as we're back here at Everly Montgomery Field, that as we say, we're not coaching this team. Coaches do their fine job. We were just wondering about that fake punt that they ran there on that last possession that set the Raptors up for the touchdown. So Mustangs now find themselves down 28-14 with 10:51 to go here in the contest.
Yep. Well, let's hope Fort Morgan can respond and continue to play hard and eliminate the mistakes that they've made so far this half.
So we'll see if they will kick it off. So didn't play anything fancy. They just kicked it off deep out of the end zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan, as they will try to get a drive here and get one of these touchdowns back.
Yep, Tate Campbell definitely on the sideline. I don't think he even has his helmet anymore.
No, I think they've taken his helmet away. The trainer is standing with him, and I can't tell who else is there with him. Maybe another trainer. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Mustangs with 10:51 left here in the contest. Pitch back to Perea on this left side. He stops and cuts it back upfield. We have a flag, so that will probably be a hold on the Mustangs. We will see.
All right.
That came from the referee, so we will see what he saw. If it was a hold on the Mustangs, it is holding on Fort Morgan. After the play netted no yardage, he'll take it back to the 10, so it'll be 1st and 10 or 1st and 20 from the 10.
And at this point, you just got to keep blocking and keep trying.
Yep. This is their biggest adversity that they've faced all year, so we'll see how they respond. But once again, also without their number 1 rusher here, and also the number 2 rusher in 3A. And that pass is incomplete over the head of Luis Garcia. And that will bring up a 2nd and 20 from the 10.
And Trey's drawing double coverage, so it's going to be hard to sneak one into him. Yeah, I think the receiver was open downfield, but just threw it to the wrong side where he wasn't looking for it.
Kind of threw it outside, and he was inside. So Dawson Frick comes wide right. McBride is a slot receiver. Marquez wide left. And now it's going to be handoff up the middle, and not much there as he is brought down at the 11, so it's going to be a gain of 1. So bring up 3rd and 19. And that was Perea on the run.
Yeah, and at this point they're able to just tee off and not really have to worry about too much responsibility deep and try and really get a good defensive play against us, and puts our offense in a tough spot.
So 3rd and 19 for the Mustangs. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Knapp back, and he is being hounded. He is going to go down at about the 8-yard line on the pressure from the Raptor front line. That will bring up a 4th down and 22 or 23 for the Mustangs. It's going to be 4th and 22 from the 12, they're saying.
Yep. Not a good time to have your second-team punter in there. This time they have number 8, Linker, in there as the up back, but I don't think they're going to try and fake it here.
Yeah, I don't think so. So we'll see what Marquez does. High snap. Marquez with a shank off the right side. It's only going to go out to about the 24-yard line, but put it in a tough position, I'm sure. Not only having to punt because of the injury to Tate, but also having to punt out of the end zone.
and not getting the best of snaps. You know, it all just kind of comes together, and that's where your coaching comes in. I'm sure they're going to have plenty to talk about how, you know, man for man, they all made mistakes up and down the line, and you know, they're going to have to figure out something to do with that tape because, you know, there's going to be a chance that he won't be playing next week.
So they send 3 receivers right. It's Ramirez once again. Shotgun formation with Connectal, and Ramirez is just going to take it right up the gut, the 20 and down to about the 17-yard line. So we'll bring up a second down. We'll see. Looks like the Mustangs are going to call a timeout as the coach is calling the whole team out to the, not quite, just about 5 yards out onto the field out there and having a team discussion here.
Yeah, it's not good that Tate's the only one not joining it. The coaches are keeping him. He can't even jog over there. I'd almost be sure that it's a concussion at this point.
Yep. So timeout here by the Fort Morgan Mustangs as they are down 28-14 with 8:48 left here. And we'll go the rest of the way without Tate Kimball in their backfield or in their defensive back or as a punter.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's I guess this shows us how Tate Kimball is such a huge part of Fort Morgan, but everybody's taught from day one that everyone has to step up. When someone gets hurt, you got to step up, and Fort Morgan's going to find out who that is pretty soon, I'm guessing.
the 3 receivers to the right once again. They're going to say Fort Morgan jump. It was going to be, they're going to call movement on the Raptors. Trey was wondering, he didn't think he had moved, and he didn't. He flinched, but he didn't go across the line, and they did call it on the Raptors, so that will take it back to the 23. 2nd and 8 from the 23. As Ramirez remains at quarterback, with Ordway standing on the sideline here. So Ramirez will hand off to Connect all over that right side, and not much there. He'll get maybe a couple, maybe one down to the 21. Yeah. Bring up a 3rd down.
At this point, a field goal is going to be another possession against us, so I'm sure if they don't make it a 4th down, they're going to plan on kicking that field goal.
So 3rd down, and about 3rd and 6 from the 21. As Ramirez, as they put everybody up on the line to block, and Ramirez now waits for the back judge to start the countdown. So they're trying to run this clock down, which is a smart deal, and he is sitting in the backfield. Nice job by Nate Cage as he hits first, and then I think brought down by Trey McBride.
Well, that looks like he lost a yard on that.
They will mark it back a yard, so 4th and 7 from the 22. So nice job there by the Mustang defense as Ramirez was brought down a yard short of the line of scrimmage. So we're going to see if they are going to kick or if they are going to go for it. Looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 7 from the 22.
Unless they're just going to try and get us to jump like they did first half.
So Ramirez once again, shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 1 left, and now we have a timeout taken by Fort Morgan. Looks like that defensive coordinator Josh Langford out there on the field, I believe, trying to see what was going on.
When it rains, it pours. You just, someone sees something out there and all of a sudden says, wow, we've got 3 guys of theirs and we only have 2, or see some sort of weakness, and it's been told to call that, and Langford doesn't agree, but I'm sure he's in there telling them, let's just get after it and stop this play.
It looked like Hamer was maybe out of position. I'm not sure if that's who it was or not. He looked like he was trying to head over that way, but anyway, we're not going to single anybody out. It's just you have a team win, you have a team loss. So
absolutely.
So There's still, 7:12 on the clock here. There's still plenty of time unless the Raptors put this back into the end zone. That would be a tough comeback, 3 touchdowns. But Ramirez shotgun formation is going to be a pass over the middle, and not a good pass as it is short of the intended receiver, Anthony Allman. So that was a turnover on downs. So Fort Morgan will take it 1st and 10 from their own 22 with 7:09 to go, trailing 28-14.
Fort Morgan's got to come up with something. Offense that'll work without Tate in there.
And they're not really a team that is, they're great running plays and stuff. They're really not a team built to have a quick comeback. It's going to be a pass over to the right side, but that is well over the intended receiver of Adrian Marquez out at about the 27.
Yeah, and Fort Morgan, while we do pass, we really don't have the kind of passing game that's going to come from behind, at least not against the defense that's sitting back waiting for us.
Yep. So 2nd and 10 from their own 22 as McBride comes wide right, Marquez to the left. High formation behind Knapp. It's going to be a handoff to Pereira over that left side as he breaks it across the 25. Then he is met there by the Raptor defense. Looks like he will get it out to the 26. So a gain of 4, so that will bring up 3rd and 6.
Pereira's 9th carry of the game.
So Tate still standing over there by himself. He's
got ice on his neck. Maybe he sprained his neck. Maybe that's what it is. And something still keep him out. It won't be the concussion protocol.
So play action by Naps. He rolls out to his left. He's going to run it across the 30 out to the 32. Looks like it will be enough for the 1st down.
Close
Let's see where they mark it. If they mark it on the upside, yeah, that's going to be a 1st down. The chain gang started moving the. I don't know how they're going to know now. They already moved it, so I don't know how they're going to tell unless they've got a mark on the field.
They do. They clip the chain unless the guy picked it up and started moving it.
It should be a 1st down from the.
Yep. So the chain gang lucked out. It was a 1st down.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 32-yard line.
Not the way you necessarily want to get that 1st down, but keep the drive alive and keep our hopes alive.
That's for sure. So receivers left and right, I formation behind Napa. It's going to be a play action once again. He rolls out to his right, looks to McBride, and almost got it, but as the ball got there, so did the defender, Kahari Harrison. So Trey didn't have a chance to bring that ball in, so that will bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 32 after the incomplete pass to McBride. So down to 6:09 left here in the contest with the Mustangs down 28-14.
And Silver Creek dedicating 2 guys to Trey. They covered them inside out, under and over.
So play action once again. Little dump pass to Breidenbach. He is going to be thrown for a loss back to the. They're going to mark it back to the 31, so a loss of 1. Starting up 3rd and 11 from their own 31-yard line.
So far, Breidenbach, the only receiver to get the 2 catches that Daly's thrown.
So the Raptors making some noise here. As it is 3rd and 11. Fort Morgan with 5:31 and counting. You're in the 4th period. As McBride signals that he wants the ball, it's a rollout to his right. Pass down the field, and that is going to be incomplete, but we have a flag thrown at about the 41-yard line. I believe that will be interference on, it'd be interference or holding, one or the other, on the Raptors. As the referees discuss it at about the 33-yard line. So the call will come here. Pass interference on the Raptors. So that will be a 1st down by penalty.
But I can see why college and the pros I guess college doesn't give him the position. Why the pros do? Because at this point, why would you not tackle him and get the 15-yard penalty
Exactly.
when he's going to score a touchdown on you?
Yep. So first and 10, Fort Morgan from their own 46. With 5:20 to go, McBride in motion to the left. As Knapp rolls out to his left to pass, and that is going to be incomplete on the far sideline. As you see who that was.
Yeah, Bill's Trey.
It was Trey. They got pushed down on the track out there, but a little slow getting up, but he comes back out on the playing field. So that will bring up a second and 10 from their own 46 after the incomplete pass.
And I think Dalen's going to have to find some other receivers out there. I mean, I know he's thrown to Breidenbach twice, but they definitely know we're looking for Trey, and they're going to double cover him, and it's going to be hard to squeeze one in.
So the Mustangs faced with a second and 10 on the 46 with 5:13 to go. Trey comes wide right, Marquez to the left, I formation behind Knapp as they put Trey in motion right to left. Dalen rolls out to his left. Now he's going to pull it down. He gets it out across midfield. He hits the ground hard as he goes down out about the 47-yard line. We'll see if he gets up. He really hit his head when he went down, so he's going to be probably lost for the rest of the game, possibly with a concussion.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 4th for Isaac Blinker.
So 3rd down as we are looking at 4:59 left here.
You know, he's a tough kid. He got hit in the head a couple games ago, and I think Blinker came in for maybe one or two plays, and he was back in there ready to go.
So 3rd and 4 from the Raptor. It's going to be about the 48, 47-yard line. So we will send it back to the studios for a short break here as they tend to David Knapp out on the field on B106 and B106.com. We are back here at Everly Montgomery Field, and Dalen Knapp still down on the field. They're bringing the stretcher out, so not a good sign here for Dalen Knapp. So
a report from the Fort Morgan sideline, he has not moved at all, is what we're hearing, that he's just lying there completely motionless. And so our prayers go out to him and his family as we try and figure out what's going on.
So we will, let's go ahead and send it back to the studio for a couple of breaks here, and we'll wait and see once they get Dalen strapped down and out of here, and maybe we can get a report later on. So we'll send it back to the studios here as the Mustangs are down 28-14 here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde still here at Everly Montgomery Field. Dalen Knapp still down on the ground. Looks like they rolled him over, tried to get him on a backboard, but right now that's the game here is now secondary to what's going on out on the field, and for the health of Dalen Knapp, that's for sure. So
absolutely a somber mode here at the field. You can hear very few people talking, but you know, our hearts go out to him and his family. We're going to fill a little time with giving you some scores from around the state. In our league, Northridge is leading Thompson Valley 13-7 in the 4th. Longmont cruising over Centaurus 42-6. And here Fort Morgan down 14-28 to Silver Creek. Another place is Pueblo East, easily over Pueblo County 30-0. The other one we were looking at, Discovery Canyon, Lewis Palmer tied up at 13. Roosevelt beating Berthoud 48-0. Meade easily over Frederick 42-0. Lutheran at 4-2 beating 4-2 Evergreen 31-6. And Conifer beating Alameda 42-22. West Slope Rifle beating Summit 37-20, and Palisade crushing Eagle Valley 43-0. And I'll take a look at 2A here and see what we got going on there. Brush down 20-7 to Weld Central, and Platte Canyon was handling Valley 45-7. So we just heard the siren of an ambulance, and they're coming out. And, Brian, every time you go out on the football field, there's the potential for injury. And I guess in the 6 years that I've been broadcasting, that is the first time that I've seen an ambulance have to come out in a Fort Morgan game. Prior to that, I was on the volunteer fire department in the ambulance service in Fort Morgan. And we did have to transport a few football players to the hospital, but usually that was after the trainers were able to get them off the sideline. So this is definitely the most serious injury. And, probably mostly they're hopefully doing this for a precaution and not that anything is seriously wrong. But we can't tell from up here. We just know that he is not moved from what we can tell. And they're treating it with the greatest precautions.
So we will see what happens here with Dalen as we say the game now secondary. So the ambulance did arrive. They're down at the north end of the field, but still haven't got Dalen even on a stretcher yet. So we will send it back to the studios for a couple of more minutes, and we will give you an update when we come back here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at Everly Montgomery Field as they still are attending to Dalen Knapp, who took a pretty good hit out there. From what we could see, it looked like he had hit his head real hard, but we're not going to speculate just what is going on. There's the fire department and ambulance services arrived, and it looks like they're getting him loaded onto the stretcher. It looks like they've got him on there. Will make their way to the ambulance. So, as Kevin said, our thoughts and prayers for Dalen Knapp and his family as he is wheeled off the field on the stretcher. So it will be tough to get back into football mode here now with about 5 minutes left in the contest before Morgan down 28-14.
Looks like he does have either a thumbs up or a finger up, and so that's a good sign that maybe he is conscious and aware of the situation and just not moving because he's been told to stay still.
Yeah, it was had something up there. So it is Dalen Knapp.
We're going to have a 3-minute warm-up for each team.
They're going to take a 3-minute warm-up here to let the teams warm back up. So we'll send it back to the studios for 2 minutes here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at Everly Montgomery Field as the gave them a little bit of a warm-up period here. It looks like the Mustangs team members and their coaches are down in the north end zone, down on a knee. Somebody leading them in a prayer down there for Dalen and his family, and hopefully that we can only hope the best now as they've loaded him into the ambulance. I don't know that he's left yet, but
Silver Creek originally in the first 3 minutes also met and looked like they said a prayer. Now they're down there and the coach is talking to them about how this is probably something that could happen to each one of us, and we've got to go out there and continue to play. And, we all assume a risk, but our prayer with him, but we still got a job to do out here.
Yep. So 4:59 left here in the contest. The Mustangs down 28-14. Also injured tonight has been Tate Kimball, although
he made it down there.
He did get down to the team meeting down at the team prayer down in the end zone. So we will get back here to football and continue on here for the last 5 minutes, as it will be a 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs from the 47, as Isaac Linker will now come in and take over for the Mustangs at the quarterback position. So,
and we've been pretty injury-free all season. We had Dalen Knapp, hurt his ankle, I think, and miss a game and a half. And Austin Carpenter, what did I say?
Dalen.
No. Yeah, Austin Breidenbach. And then Colton Carpenter missed like a half of a game because of a chop block that, hurt his leg a little bit. Not sure exactly whatever happened with that, but he's back in. So it can always happen, and, our prayers are with them and hope for a recovery, but the Mustangs have still got to figure out a way to get the job done without him at this point of the game.
Yep. So it will be 3rd and 4 here for the Mustangs from the depth of 47 as we are about underway here now as Isaac Linker under center. High formation behind Linker, and it's going to be a handoff to Pereira over that left side across the 45. And that will bring up a 4th down. As he will be 4th and 2. About 4th and 1.
Let's pick up a 3 there. You got a new quarterback coming in. You got to at least give him a chance to hand off a few times before you expect him to pass.
So 4th and 1 is going to be a pitch back to Pereira as he busts it up, and he is going to be held short of the 1st down as he is hit at the 45-yard line. So that will be a turnover on downs. They did get it just barely inside the 45, but that will be a turnover on downs with 4:25 left here in the contest, and the Mustangs down 28-14. So that will be 1st and 10 Raptors from their own 45.
And Knapp doesn't play any defense, so we're still just short Tate on the defensive side. They're sticking with Ramirez at quarterback. It'll be interesting to read in the paper tomorrow why they went with that.
So 1 receiver right, 1 left. It's going to be a handoff to Connectal, I believe. That's who has been in the backfield as Ramirez handed off to, it is Connectal. So that will bring up about a 2nd and 6.
I'm sure they'll let the clock run as long as they can. And maybe this is their answer. We need to work on preparing for rainy days. And this is going to be our offense against.
So 2nd and 6 now as Connectal comes back to Ramirez in the backfield as they wait for the back judge to start his countdown, and there he is. And now it's going to be Ramirez with the run, and he is going to be held short of the line of scrimmage, I believe. It will be maybe 3rd and 6. He will get back to the 49, so 3rd and 6 after the no gain by Ramirez as Trey McBride and Nate Cage go out of the game. And I did see Eric Carrillo come in. I did not see who took the other place of the other player, but also in on the field for the Mustangs is number 55, James Moody.
Nordway is right there with the offensive coordinator when they give the call to Ramirez, so I don't think he's hurt. I think they're just trying to come up with a different stretch. And
I think he waited too long on the countdown. So that will send it back 5 yards, so that'll be 3rd and 11.
And, I guess you got to play by the rules, but I'm thinking in this situation, the game's pretty much in hand. What's a half a second more off the clock, but as an official, you can't really do that. You can't call the situation. You got to call the rules, and so
down to 2:53 left here in the game. 1 receiver left, 1 right. Ramirez once again will run it over on this left side as he will get it out to midfield. So that will bring up a 4th down. Got to mark it out at the 49. So we'll bring up 4th and 6 as the clock winds down here with the Mustangs on the short end of the scoreboard tonight, 28-14. But things they will have to work out now if they will probably not be seeing Tate Kimball or Dalen Knapp at least next week, and maybe we don't know for how long. So once again, it is a 4th and 6 from the 49. It's going to be a pooch punt by Ramirez. It's going to hit about the 11, and it's going to go into the end zone for the touchback. So Fort Morgan will have possession one more time with 2:04 left here as they are down 14, 28-14. It'll be 1st and 10, Morgan on their own 20. So we'll see what Fort Morgan has in mind here, if they're going to try to run this out and get out of here and take their losses, or what they're going to...
Yeah, with Linker, I don't know. I think you want to give him a little chance to try and throw in a pressure situation. And
so he will roll out to his left in the pass, and it is going to be out to Marquez as he is pushed out of bounds out at the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 37. Down under 2 minutes here as he was pushed out of bounds. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from their own 37. McBride wide right, Marquez once again left. I formation. Isaac Linker is going to be a pass to Dylan McBride as he is going to be out to first down territory. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan out to the 48. So 11-yard pass there for Isaac Linker. So I formation, Trey McBride wide right. As we now have a timeout, it is going to be taken by Silver Creek with 1 minute and 37 seconds left here as the Raptors lead at 28-14.
they're kind of sitting back in a prevent defense, letting Fort Morgan work underneath, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. They're giving them the underneath and not anything deep. So Stubbs Gas and Oil. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop out heading out of town. During your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks, and your hunting and fishing licenses. Find everything you need at low prices at Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Rominger Jewelry and Gifts is the leader in Northeast Colorado for diamonds, jewelry, watches, and expert jewelry repair, located in downtown Sterling.
Fort Morgan up to the line. I think they were lucky because Trey was offsides on that last one. And they called a timeout before he had a chance to call that.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 48 as Isaac Linker looks over the middle, and that is going to be kicked by the defense and hits the ground as the ball was rolled over the head of the intended receiver, Luis Garcia.
That's the first pass by Isaac Linker that drops to the ground. He was 2 for 2 for 28 yards.
So 2nd and 8 now. As Fort Morgan is going to have too many men in the huddle as Dylan McBride leaves the field from the huddle, so that will set it back 5. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 15. From their 43-yard line. Linker pass out to the side to Marquez. Incomplete. Did not hold on to it out there.
Well, it looked like he had it there for a second. That would have been a good play to make back some of this lost yardage.
So now Fort Morgan faced with a 3rd and 15 from their own 43. Down to 1 minute 27 left. As Frick comes wide right. McBride slot receiver. Isaac Linker looks over to his left as he is going to be sacked at about the 36 or 37-yard line. So just not enough time as they were setting up the deep routes, and they will take it back to the 38.
Third sack registered by Silver Creek. Fort Morgan never really even touching the quarterback. Hurried him a couple times, but never even really got Ordway.
So under a minute here, down to 53 seconds. So the Mustangs will suffer their first defeat here. The 1-1 in-league play as the Snap back to Lakers. He's going to load up downfield. That is going to be intercepted by the Raptors. And he will be tackled at the Fort Morgan 45-yard line. So a tough night all the way around for the Mustangs. 36 seconds left.
And I'd expect the victory formation or just a handoff up the middle for Silver Creek at this point. I don't know if Fort Morgan has any timeouts, but I'd be surprised if they used them on this.
Yeah, just let the time run off and go back and lick your wounds and come out ready for next week. Thompson Valley comes to town. See if they have to run one more down to 31 seconds. I don't know. Is it 40? I guess it's a 40-second clock.
So I think we're done with that.
That will be the last play of the contest. A loss for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, but more importantly, Dalen Knapp had been taken off the field with about 5 minutes left. So our thoughts and prayers, and hope things are going well for Dalen as he was taken off on the stretcher to the ambulance. So a somber night here at Fort Morgan. We will take a break and then be back with the post-game show here on B106 and B106.com. This Fort Morgan Mustangs post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education and visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. We are also broadcasting right now on Facebook Live. This was a 7-7 contest at halftime. Fort Morgan takes their opening possession in the second half, 75 yards and 8 plays, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And George Perea takes it in from 50 yards out. The PAT is good, puts the Fort Morgan Mustangs up 14-7. The Raptors then get the ball in their next possession. They go 63 yards in 10 plays, a little over 4 minutes. PAT is good, puts the score at 14-14. Fort Morgan on the next possession is a fumble on the kickoff, recovered by the Raptors at their own 27-yard line. They take it in from 18 yards out on a pass to Roth. The PAT is good, 21-14, and that's the way this the third period came to an end. Mustangs go back basically 5 and out. They try to fake punt from their own 37 and did not get the first down. So the Raptors were set up in excellent field position from the 24-yard line. And they take 3 plays to go in from the 16-yard line. It was actually first and goal from the 16. Ramirez takes it in for the touchdown. PAT once again is good, and that brings the score to 28-14. And that is how this game came to a conclusion. The Mustangs are now 6-1, 1-1 in league play. But more importantly, our thoughts and prayers go out to Dalen Knapp, as he was carted off the field at the 5-minute mark left in the fourth period. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Dalen. Tate Kimball also left the game earlier as he possibly sustained a concussion. We're not sure. We did get a report, I guess, from the Fort Morgan Athletic Department that Dalen did have a neck injury. We just don't know to what extent. So we will leave it at that, and I think Kevin has some numbers for us.
Right, I do have Fort Morgan's individual stats. Silver Creek having a much better second half, throwing the ball another 7 times was Ordway, and then 3 times by Ramirez, and then running the ball quite a bit and having a lot more success than the Mustangs. So with that said, Fort Morgan ends the night with 4 completions on 13 attempts with 2 interceptions, total of 51 yards, 3 sacks for a total of 6 yards. Receptions, the passing breaks down this way. Knapp has 2 completions on 8 attempts for 28 yards and 1 of the interceptions. And Linker comes in on filling in for the hurt Knapp. throws, 2 completions on 5 attempts with 28 yards, but also 1 interception. Receiving, we have Austin Breidenbach with 2 catches for 28 yards. Marquez, 1 catch for 17 yards, and Dylan McBride, 1 catch for 11 yards. We also have rushing. Dalen Knapp carries it 3 times for 14 yards. Tate Campbell, 21 carries for 138 yards, so about 6.5 yards per carry there. Breidenbach, 6 carries for 19 yards. Good to have him back running. Trey McBride has the 1 carry for 1. Perea comes in a supporting role and takes over for Tate and runs 11 times for 84 yards. Good night for him. Has 1 touchdown. That was the big 50-yard touchdown there in the second half. Abrego gets 1 carry for 3 yards. And then Hamer on the fake punt ends up with 1 carry for minus 12 yards. So the Mustangs end up 264 yards on 44 carries and 2 touchdowns for a total offense of 310 yards, which doesn't seem that bad and should have maybe translated into more points, but it was penalties and mistakes that just got Fort Morgan behind, and then a kind of unfortunate injuries to players that, like you said, our prayers go out to their families and to them and to the doctors that will treat them. And we pray that it's nothing serious and that if it is, they are able to recover and rejoin the team. Both seniors, great leadership we get from them, and it's going to be tough to replace that.
That's for sure. So they will move on as the Mustangs will host Thompson Valley next week, 7 o'clock on Friday, and we will have that call for you here on B106 as well as B106.com. The Fort Morgan Mustangs player of the game is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse our website, transwestchevroletbuick.com. So I guess we will go with, Tate.
I think even though he didn't play most of the second half, he still had the greatest impact and certainly was missed the most. Not that we want to discount what Dalen Knapp does, but Linker comes in and plays a pretty good backup role. Granted they were playing a little bit of prevent defense,
right,
and that sort of thing, but he comes in, plays pretty good. Boy, the running game without Tate in there is kind of tough sledding for the Mustangs, so I agree with you.
We'll go with Tate Kimmel's our player of the game because, we miss him on all 3 phases of the game. He's the punter. He's our starting tailback. He, starting in the defensive backfield as well. So, big loss, for the Mustangs. So we will go ahead and close this out. Our producer and engineer for Fort Morgan Mustangs football tonight has been Tristan Reyes. Julie Garcia is our replay engineer. For Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. Once again, the Fort Morgan Mustangs fall 28-14 here on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.